What's going on? Zach Crawford here, and in this video we're going to talk about how to create a successful online business. So specifically what we're talking about is how to create passive income. Now, when I say passive income, I don't mean it how most people market it, where it's like push button, you do no work. It's going to be active income up front, so I want you to understand that. You're going to put in a lot of hard work up front. But then once you put the systems in place, it can start to automate a bit of your life and your business. So in the old days, when I first got started in business, I was doing a lot of active income. It was like on the phone. It was selling direct. It was doing a lot of stuff that basically burned me out. And that's when I become obsessed with this whole passive income, idea. And I started literally researching everything I could to buy back my time and to leverage my time so I can focus on other things to grow the business. And so what we're doing is what I call digital real estate, right? We're going to harvest digital real estate. And the reason I use this example is because if you think about if you invested in real estate, you're building an asset over time that makes you wealthy. And it's not requiring you to physically be there and work to make money, right? That's the whole point of this. You want to start thinking of how to become the CEO and not just the worker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on my whiteboard here and illustrate how this works. And secondly, I want to talk about, I'm referring to affiliate marketing because that's the business model I recommend to everyone, right? It's basically the process of recommending other people's proven products. And the reason I recommend this is because the learning curve is very low to get started. You don't have to create your own products. You don't have to have all your own assets. You don't even need to be an expert. You just need to recommend people to a good product and you can make money. And what you get to focus on is the most important aspect, which is marketing and sales, which is what we're really talking about here. And then of course later, if you want to create your own products and your own services, which we'll also talk about in this video, you can do so. So number one is to basically, you have your people or your audience, right? This is absolutely crucial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list it down, then I'm going to draw it out, and keep in mind this is probably going to get kind of messy, but just follow along, right? And you can ask questions in the comments if something doesn't make sense. So you have your people. So I'm going to draw like a number one here, and we have our people. And I'm just going to make some little ugly stick figures here. And this is the most important aspect that you need to understand, is that people is everything. No matter what business model you're in, especially with affiliate marketing, if you want to make money, you got to get that money from somebody else. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people make in entrepreneurship, and I made this myself, is most of us get into the business because we're miserable. At least I know I did, right? And by miserable, it doesn't necessarily mean your life was truly at the bottom of the gutter like mine. It just means that you're not happy with your current state of affairs, right? And you want a better life. You want a better future for yourself and your family. And so when we get into this, we're usually focused on us, right? We only care about us. And the problem with that is that when you're out there trying to sell something, you got to shift the focus off of you to the person you're trying to serve, because all they care about is themselves, exactly like we do, right? Now, number two is, of course, your platform. And I want you to think of your platform as like social media or some kind of place that you can actually get your message out to the world. So that could be it could be YouTube, it could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be Google, so that would be like a blog. It could even be a podcast. It doesn't really matter what platform you picked, as long as you know that your audience that you're trying to serve out there is digesting information somewhere. And I've shared this on my channel before, the information business model alone, like affiliate marketing, selling digital products, digital services, it's going to be a $375 billion industry by 2025. So it's massive, right? So I'm pretty sure no matter what industry you're in, people are out there trying to consume information somewhere on the web. And that's the point you got to focus on, a platform to basically get your message out there. Now, number three, and this is one of the most important parts, is your content. And this is where, honestly, I probably focus 80% of my time right here is on the content. And this is where a lot of people I see they skip this part, and it's the most vital piece. And I'm just gonna draw a video here. We're just gonna draw a video, and that's gonna represent YouTube. But keep in mind, whatever platform you like. If you like Instagram, do Instagram. If you like YouTube, do YouTube. If you like writing, do blogging, and share your blog post on Pinterest or Facebook. If you like Facebook, do live streams or a Facebook group. No matter what, there's a platform for everybody, right? So don't get so caught up on the video here. But content is where I focus literally all of my time for the most part. And the reason being is most people, I tell this all the time on a lot of my videos, if you've watched any of them before, 95% of people are not ready to buy. And this is where I focus on, and probably kind of sounds backwards, right? And only 5% is ready to whip out their credit card and make a purchase today. And the problem with this is where almost 99% of people are focusing. Everybody's putting their focus on the buyers. And the problem with this is the fact that people are more skeptical than ever. Like, we're in an era now that it's the hardest time ever to get somebody to purchase a product. And it doesn't matter if it's $1, it's $7, it's $100, it's $1,000, it's $5,000. That first purchase takes a lot of effort, right? And a lot of people are focused on getting to the 5% of buyers that are ready to purchase today. And the real problem with that is that if you're a beginner and you're just getting started in this industry, it's going to be tough. The waters are extremely bloody. You're competing against level 100 marketers with massive paid budgets, with tons of knowledge that you don't have yet, and you're trying to focus right there. And even though I consider myself a rather good marketer, at least I like to toot my own horn a little bit, I focus all my energy right here. And the reason being is because people are in learning mode. If you think about your own journey, when you got started trying to learn how to start an online business, you didn't go out there and say, you know what, I'm going to go buy a product today. But for whatever reason, when most of us get into business, we forget the cycle that we went through, and we start doing silly things that we didn't even go through. We start spamming our links on social media, telling everybody about our business, trying to convince everyone how amazing our product is. And that's not how people end up buying things, right? They seek out information. They start saying, how do I do this? How do I solve this problem? What is the best resource for my topic? They go out there and look for information that will solve their problem or answer their questions. And so this is where you want to put your effort, because when you're creating good content, right? You're out there creating valuable content that will answer their questions. And if you want to know how to create content, because you're like, Zach, I don't know how to create content, I've created several videos on this channel that talks about how easy creating content is and finding topics that you can create content that answers the questions to your audience. But when you create content, you're delivering goodwill up front. You're creating positive expectations the first time somebody comes across you. Think about this. And I'm going to think that almost anybody can resonate with this, even if you've not purchased a car before. When you usually go to a car lot, most of the salesmen, the moment you literally pull on the lot, they look at you and it's like you see the shark effect kick in, right? They're ready to fight in there. The waters are bloody. All the salesmen are ready to jump in. And they come up to you and say, hey, how can I help you? And you're like, whoa, dude, I just got out of the car. I just wanted to kind of look around. I'm just shopping around. Okay, let me show you this car over here. And they start trying to sell you a car you're not even interested in. Now, the smart salesman does the opposite, right? See, all the negative salesmen that are selling cars, they're doing this. They're just trying to hit you, thinking that you're ready to buy that moment. But the smart guy, the smart salesman, he goes over and says, hey, how are you doing? I just wanted to let you know my name, and if you need any help, just feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to help you. And you're like, oh, cool. Yeah, so actually, I was actually looking around at cars, and what it does is it causes the customer to drop their guard, and now they're looking for information. Now you can tell them and make a suggestion to them. And if the car salesman actually listens to you, they listen to what you say you want instead of them trying to sell you what they want you to buy, they'll figure out and let the customer tell them everything they want. They'll get all the information they need from the customer in order to sell them that car. The person will tell them, hey, actually, I'm looking for an SUV because I have a rather large family and the car we have now is just not enough space. We just had a baby. And that gives them the information. Okay, I don't want to sell them the truck. I don't want to sell them the car. I'm going to sell them the SUV. And so if you do this online, you take this process online and you start thinking about seducing your prospects like a relationship. If you're a guy, you don't go and try to sleep with the girl on the first minute you meet her, right? You're probably going to get slapped. But if you go out there and you start seducing her by building the relationship and instigating the relationship slowly but surely, it can go down that line. And then eventually maybe it even goes to marriage. That's how you want to think of it online. Now, I know that's a little bit of an extreme thinking about sleeping with your prospects, but you get my point, right? You can't go out there and try to go for the kill the first minute. And if you do, you're going to build a lot of skepticism. When you're trying to sell them the first time that they see you, they're going to be like, whoa. I was just trying to find information about this. And so that's why I focus all my energy on just giving massive amounts of value without focusing on selling. And I constantly keep giving more free information. People always say all the time to me, Zach, I've never seen anybody literally give away so much free stuff, and you keep it up. I've never seen it. It's crazy. That's the effect you want to create, because when you create those positive expectations up here in your prospects, they're going to keep following you. Now, number 4. So this is going to get kind of crazy here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just draw an arrow over here and swing it around, right? So number 4 is going to be right here. So number 4 is one of the really, really important pieces to the equation. So I call it the freebie. Now, different people call things different things. People call it a lead magnet. People will say a squeeze page. Basically what we're doing is we're giving away something for free. Do you notice a pattern here? I keep giving lots of free stuff, right? I'm not going for the sale right away like a lot of people do. I'm giving away more free stuff, more free stuff. And what this does is it builds up in the Goodwill bank account. And so I heard this concept years ago by my man Frank Kern, and he calls it results in advance. And what he means by this is when you give a lot of cool stuff up front, you build that positive expectation so they're open to now hearing about what you have for sale. When you just try to go straight for the sale, they repel and run. And so what you're doing right here is you're basically going to give away, something for free. This is just a one-page website, right? And it usually has like a headline. Maybe it's a person on there, like with a video. It's possible. Sometimes you just use a headline. And then you have a box right here where they can put their email. And what's great here is once they put in their email, right, now you can actually follow up with them and build more goodwill. You can also try to sell them more stuff in the future. We'll talk about in a minute. But the whole point of point number 4 with the freebie is to keep that relationship cycle going, to keep those positive expectations going. So what we're going to do here is we're going to give away something massively valuable, something that you would actually go out there and sell. Like you need to put a lot of effort into this. I see a lot of people shortcut this process and they'll go buy something called PLR, which is private label rights, and they don't care how great a value it gives. Like their whole goal is just to get the email so they can spam them to death. And if you've been in this industry for even probably a month and you've opted into anybody's list, you've probably seen this where you opt in, they tell you're going to give you some amazing stuff, and literally they just hammer you with offer after offer after offer after offer, and you're like, oh my God, and you want to unsubscribe so fast you can't even process the thought. That's what most people do. Most people are focusing on that, right? I do the opposite. I put a ton of effort right here, a ton of effort to create something amazingly valuable for free, to educate them, to help them understand how the product will help them, to help them understand how the topic is going to benefit them. And so you want to think of a lot of time here, spend a lot of time here to make an amazing freebie. And if you want to know how to do that, once again, I have videos on the channel that talks about this concept even more deep. But I want to go over the overview of how this works so you can see it. So what's going to happen is you're going to give away something amazing, right? An ebook. It could be a video course. It could be even an audio. I've seen some people give away like a podcast episode. It's going to vary depending on what niche you're in. Now, what's going to happen is as you do this is what's called a sales funnel. Now, the freebie is just the free value, but this is what's called a sales funnel. People refer to this as a sales funnel. And I'm gonna make it as easy as possible for you. I do things a little bit more advanced, but when I first started out, I didn't do things advanced, and I don't think many people should. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to have a series of emails. So this is like email 1. And I'm just going to draw 2 here, but keep in mind you can have this as long as you want it to go. You can have it 7 emails, you can have it 20, you can have it 50. I personally only do about 7, and then from there I follow up consistently, which we'll talk about here in a minute. So what's going to happen is as they go through, right? We've opted in. They've given us their email in exchange for that free valuable gift that we're giving away. And of course, what you're going to do is on each email, you're going to link to the sales page. And this is where you can actually start selling them, right? Now, here's the thing. In each email, it should be more value. It should be like tips. It should be like, things to help them overcome some objections, because when you try to sell right out of the gate, this is why you don't do it. A lot of people in their mind are like, yeah, Zach, this won't work for me because of this. But Zach, you don't understand my situation because I actually have this problem. And what your actual freebie sequence does, it gives value, but it also overcomes objections. It pre-educates them. It helps them understand how this product is actually going to benefit my life, how this product is going to make things faster, more simple. It's going to make my life less complicated. Those are the things people care about. They don't care about the widget. They don't care about all the things it can do. They care about what the product will help them achieve. They desire what that product's going to help them do and where it's going to take them. So you got to realize that this is massively important because you're leaving so much money on the table when you're just trying to sell them. If you just say, for instance, create a video and you're like, this product's amazing, it's going to do this, this, and this, and you got to buy it below. Like if you rub them wrong and they feel like, I don't think so, you've lost a lot of money. But when you put tons of value up front, right? You do value in advance. and you give positive expectations. Then they put their email in and you're giving them more positive expectations by pre-educating them and helping them understand why this product will really help them. You're going to have more people that are going to buy. Now, here's where the real power is, which is in number 5. Number 5 is just offer more products, right? So offer products. And so here's the thing. This is where the passive element comes in, right? Now, the passive element actually comes in, the passive income, even right here. Because if you notice, if we go back up really quick to summarize, we built this engine, right? We have our people right here, right there where I'm like scribbling. So right there where the arrow is. And then we guide them down the process to number 2, which is where our platform is. We're creating content on that platform, which is evergreen, that is the digital real estate. You know, I probably should have tapped into that a little bit earlier. We're creating this digital real estate that will work for us 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It's out there in the universe. It's going to keep sending us leads and sales. And then they're going to go into our sales funnel with the freebie, and we're going to make sales as we go through here. Now, this is where most people stop, right? Even if they create this, they think like that's passive income. But here's where your actual additional money comes in at number 5. So what we did when somebody put our email in there, they went into our email database. They went into our email database. And what is great about this is now we can follow up with them in the future. You know, as I talked about before, most people are very skeptical. They don't believe it. Well, they don't believe you when they first come across you. They think like you're a scam artist. You're out to take them. You're out to just get their money. They're just a credit card. And so you have to build goodwill and trust before a lot of people buy. And so what you do right here, this is where you start to make more money. So some of the people, as they go through this cycle right here, they are going to buy, but only a small percentage, like 1 to 5%. That's pretty much industry standard. And 5% is more if you're really, really good. And so a lot of people haven't bought yet. A lot of people are sitting on the fence still, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I like this person, but I just don't know. And so what you can do now is lead people to multiple things. You can lead them to more content. So you have a database that you can get in contact with these people that care about your subject often. You can link out to more content to build more value. You can link them to another affiliate product, right? So I'm just going to put AF. You can link them to additional affiliate products, and maybe that's like a high ticket webinar. So you can make like $500 to $1,000. Maybe it's to, just another offer that's like, under $500 or $97 or a reoccurring offer, right? So I'm just going to write reoccurring, meaning the money comes in. It's like a membership site. Every single time somebody subscribes, they keep paying until they quit, and you just make passive income there. Now, it doesn't stop there, right? Because what's going to happen as you get going, you're going to realize like, man, there's a lot of different opportunities here that I can expand in the future. The reason I tell people to start with affiliate marketing, it allows you to master the marketing process to get the engine going. But once the engine is going and you're making money, you start to realize there's more opportunities. So what's going to happen is people are going to start requesting different things from you. They may say, hey, John, do you have like a coaching program? So now this is something that is not active income, so I want to keep this in mind. Coaching is not like, it's not active, or I should say it's not passive, sorry, because it's your time, it's your one-to-one time. But the great thing here is that you can charge like $500 plus an hour depending on what niche you're in. Now, if you're in some kind of business niche, obviously the price is going to be higher. If you're in something like weight loss, it may be a little bit lower. But the great thing about coaching, and this is what I always recommend people do second before they actually create their products, is a lot of people want to get straight into the passive element all around. They want to do affiliate marketing and just create their own product. But the problem with that is when you're first learning, you don't quite know your audience. You don't quite know their problems and their struggles and their frustrations and their pain. And when you work with individual people, you start to figure out the problems that people in your niche really have. And then you can start, actually developing your digital product. Now, the next layer on the spoke is you could offer, which is my favorite, which is a group coaching program. And what's great about group coaching is that you're not just serving one person. This is like true passive income right here for the most part. It's active a little bit, but it's still passive because you're not like spending all your time getting on Skype calls and one-to-one on a phone. You get to leverage, you could literally coach 1,000 people and have reoccurring income coming in every single month. You could create, and you could do this as a complete beginner. If you started getting a result in your industry, You could create a simple group coaching program for like $50 a month and get a ton of people on it. Think about it. At $50 a month, it doesn't require you to be a world-class expert. If you just know one specific skill, there's going to be people that are desiring to learn that. Let's just say you learned Instagram, right? You could create a group coaching program where 1 to 2 times a week, maybe on Monday, for example, you do like the marketing strategy of how Instagram works. And then on Wednesday, you do like Tech Tuesday or Tech Wednesday. And basically you explain the tech side of Instagram and creating your images and how you get followers. You could go over individual things like that, right? And that's 1 to 2 hours of your time. And you could build up that passive income with really 1 to 2 hours of your time a week. Now, the next stage is of course, and this is getting kind of be like a mess, is DFY. And basically that stands for done for you. So one of the things that you're going to start getting requests for is in your industry, regardless of what you're doing, people are going to start saying, I'm trying to do this, but like I just really feel like I need help, or I'm getting stuck on this thing. And you're going to start to develop opportunities where you can create done-for-you services. And this is why I like the digital world, because the profit margins are huge compared to something like e-commerce or a physical product. And even on the done-for-you, in the beginning, it's going to be more kind of like the coaching program here, where it's like your individual time. In the beginning, you're going to probably do it yourself. But eventually, you can start to outsource this, and it becomes passive. And in the beginning, when I first started doing a lot of done-for-you services in my industry, like I was doing it. I was perfecting the process. I was learning how to do it. And then eventually I started outsourcing it to all I have to do is market it and sell it. And then from there, that's it. That's the last part of my responsibility. So there's another passive income source if you build it right. Now, the final spoke on the wheel is creating your own products. And this is the stage I think that everybody should do last. And a lot of times people try to skip to this, even if they have knowledge out of the gate. But eventually, this is where you can create passive income additional if you're an affiliate marketer, that you graduate to this stage. And the reason being is you can automate this. So just like with the products, the only difference up here, like where we go up to like where the sales funnel is, right? And I know this is a mess, so I'm just going to draw the arrow so you can see it right here, is where it has email 1, email 2, email 3, email 4, and you've already created all your content. You literally can just create a new sales funnel and create a new freebie, swap out that freebie, and then start selling your own products in the niche that you built up. And so this is why this process is very powerful, right? You create the engine up here, which this is the most important spoke, number 3. Because if you do your job well and you create a bunch of content and you start building an audience over 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, that stuff is going to keep working for you. That's why I call it digital real estate, right? You create it once, you have the asset, and then it keeps going. This is how I've created a successful business in multiple industries over the years. This is my focus moving forward because I'm at a point in my career now that I value my time 100 times more than I value money. The great thing is that when you put in the work, the money keeps getting bigger and it's less of your time. You get to the point where you just have to create content and it just keeps the engine growing, keeps it growing, keeps it growing. Your income grows, your impact grows, and your influence grows, and you get to help more people. So with that being said, I hope you got value from this video. This is, even though it is simple, it's not easy. It's something that requires you to put in a lot of work up front. The great thing is anybody can do this. All you have to do is be willing to do the work, put in the work to build the engine, and then from there things get much easier in your life and your business. And this is what all real successful businesses take. You got to put in a lot of the work up front to build that passive income, but once you do, it's very, very worth it. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos. And finally, if you want to see this whole process in play, right? I have a free training in the description that walks you through how all this stuff works, how you build the engine, how you put the whole process together, and it will go in deep, deep detail on how to do that. So with that being said, take care, and I will see you in the next video.